While not all values are consistent throughout U.S. society, researchers have attempted to try and identify what appears to be core values. Robin Williams identified the following core values: achievement and success. Americans praise personal achievement, especially outdoing others. This value includes getting ahead at work and school and attaining wealth, power, and prestige. Individualism. Americans cherish the ideal that an individual can rise from the bottom of society to its very top. If someone fails to get ahead, Americans generally find fault with that individual rather than with the social system for placing roadblocks in his or her path. Hard work. Americans expect people to work hard to achieve financial success and material comfort. Efficiency and practicality. Americans award high marks for getting things done efficiently. Even in everyday life, Americans consider it important to do things fast, and they seek ways to increase efficiency. Science and technology. Americans have a passion for applied science, for using science to control nature, to tame rivers and harness winds, and to develop new technology, from iPads to self-driving cars. Material comfort. Americans expect a high level of material comfort. This includes not only plentiful food, fashionable clothing, and ample housing, but also good medical care, late-model cars, and recreational playthings, from smartphones to motorhomes. Freedom. This core value pervades U.S. life. It underscored the American Revolution, and Americans pride themselves on their personal freedom. Democracy. By this term, Americans refer to majority rule, to the right of everyone to express an opinion, and to representative government. Equality. It's impossible to understand Americans without being aware of the central role that the value of equality plays in their lives. Equality of opportunity, part of the ideal culture we'll discuss later, has significantly influenced U.S. history and continues to mark relations between the groups that make up U.S. society. Group superiority. Although it contradicts the values of freedom, democracy, and equality, Americans regard some groups more highly than others and have done so throughout their history. The denial of the vote to women, the slaughter of Native Americans, and the enslavement of Africans are a few examples of how dominant groups considered themselves superior and denied equality, freedom, and even life to others. And your text author adds 3 more to this list of 10. Education. Americans are expected to go as far in school as their abilities and finances allow. Over the years, the definition of an adequate education has changed, and today a college education is considered an appropriate goal for most Americans. Those who have an opportunity for higher education and do not take it are sometimes viewed as doing something wrong, not merely as making a bad choice, but as somehow being involved in an immoral act. Religiosity. There's a feeling that every true American ought to be religious. This does not mean that everyone's expected to join a church, a synagogue, or a mosque, but that everyone ought to acknowledge a belief in a supreme being and follow some set of matching precepts. This value is so pervasive that Americans stamp "In God We Trust" on their money and declare in their National Pledge of Allegiance that they are one nation under God. Romantic love. Americans feel that the only proper basis for marriage is romantic love. Songs, literature, mass media, and folk belief promote that idea. Sociologists also refer to the concept of value clusters. This is the idea that some values cluster together to form larger wholes. For example, the value cluster that surrounds success. We can see that education, hard work, material comfort, and individualism all work together to have an effect on success. Americans are expected to go far in school, to work hard afterward, and then to attain a high level of material comfort, which in turn demonstrates success. Success is attributed to the individual's efforts. Lack of success is blamed on his or her faults. So these values all cluster together to some extent. Value contradictions occur when different values contradict each other. For instance, the value of environmentalism or conservation may contradict material values. Material comfort and conservation sometimes contradict each other. Or value contradictions can arise between individual and communal value systems. That is, as a member of a society, a group, or community, an individual can hold both a personal value system and a communal value system at the same time. What is good for the individual may not be so good for the community. For example, in America, we value freedom, democracy, and equality. However, historically, these values were only conferred on certain group members. Social tension over this country's idea of equality brewed for over 100 years, and we're still debating what it means to be equal in our country.